read your book, and then I found out about Jaffar is a dangerous family, and we have our classmates actually called him Muhammad Jaffar. So that just made me rethink my whole childhood.
Yo, fun fact about the Jaffar family. They're the only family in Lebanon that gets cocaine in Lebanon from Brazil.
Whoa!
Fact. No one else gets this shit except them. And they get it for $2 per gram. $2, 100% pure Brazilian coke. And they make 200 grams out of each gram. 200, they mix it with shit. And they sell each gram for $100. Do the math. Fucking billionaires. Billionaires.
Oof, bro.
Are we live?
Drop. Wow. We're live. We're recording. Yeah, exactly. So, but you can go about it. We'll edit this out. Yeah, exactly.
Publish it raw, bro.
Bro, Muhammad Jaffar, bro. It really changed everything once I read that.
بس
I was like,
محمد جعفر from جنوب. انت you're from جنوب or you're from البعض؟
Yeah, I'm from Jnoub.
Okay. أهل الجنوب different. They're not in the مصحة مثل بالبعض. بالبعض they're really into like بجنوب they into it but not like بالبعض. هل اللي بيسمعوا. That's what I.
Yeah, I get it.
عندك
there's
بيت زعتر bro كمان.
One of the most confusing things was that these ISIS people, they're Daesh, right? They're Islamic. But they're also trafficking drugs. So how does that make any sense? That makes zero sense. How can you be an Islamic, trying to preach Islam, conquer for Islam,
my God.
and then also doing the complete opposite? What's kind of mental gymnastics?
I lost my religion when I saw them. Like, really, when I saw them do the shit they do, and then they go pray, I'm like, man, like, this religion is... If they accept their prayers, like, I'm out. I don't want any part of this religion, yani. Unjust, because it's fucked up, honestly. Like, they go bomb, they go fucking do horrible things, and, like, in the end, they pray, and, like, it's all forgiving. Like, how does that work? And the government in Lebanon was protecting them. Scoop. That's a scoop right there. No joke.
Okay, guys. Here we go.
How were they protecting them?
If you want to buy a phone, like I had a phone. If you saw like my video on YouTube, I did a music video in prison. Because like, what else you're gonna do if you're in prison? If not be a rapper. So, and the phone I bought was from Daesh, from ISIS. Legit.
Cliche.
I bought a phone from there, so I can record my music video from them.
What was the block called that they were in?
Block B.
Block B. Yeah, I remember hearing about this story that Block B معروف إنه Daesh own it and they run it.
True. I was a university student. I was a university student, 19 years old. They placed me there because like it's better for university students because like they have a caliphate inside the prison and they have rules like you can't do drugs, you can't steal, you can't fight. So like the government like yeah we put them with them. They're nice. They'll take care of you.
Wait, so what did you learn from them like in that situation?
I learned that like I know when I went in, I didn't have a lot of religious knowledge. I was 19, AUB student, I went in and like the first thing that they tell me, like I'm a Shia, and they tell me like, if I kill you, I go to heaven. I'm like, what's the difference?
What?
Like I don't even know.
Whoa.
Yeah. And they say Christians are misled. They have a chance to convert or to liberate the lands. But like us, this is their psychological teachings. They're a fucking mob. They have an agenda.
That's very extreme the way they think. To be honest,
I have a question.
It's like it's not very guided in a logical or sensible way. It's not. I don't think they're following Islam in the like to its
No,
core.
no, no, no.
It's very
It's
misguided the way
they're
they follow
using
it.
it for their agenda. It's like it's easier to like do more followings with when you have like a book to base it on. You know, like you find it in every
Yeah.
religion. You know, like the Crusades, everywhere they find a point which is religion, and they collect the masses. You know, and if you say no, they say, "Oh my God, God, you're against God. We will kill you." And everybody's like, you know, what are you gonna do? Like, yeah, yeah, kill him. It's against God, whatever. You know,
Yeah.
fucked
What
up.
was
Alright,
the
so
weirdest thing that you were? Yeah, go ahead, Paco.
were you institutionalized? As in, like, you had to wake up a certain point? Because I went to jail. I never been to prison, and
Yeah.
in jail we had like we didn't have to. We just woke up to get out. That's, like we literally made bail and got out.
You went to
But
Habesh,
Mm.
Paco, if you don't mind me
yeah,
asking?
I've
Yeah,
been to jail
exactly.
3 times.
Oh wow.
I've been to jail 17 times.
Well, you know,
After that,
up north.
after that, no, after that big prison thing, because I was innocent. Like I went out, and after a year and a half, and I was innocent. They gave me a paper saying, "We're sorry for the time you spent there. You're innocent." And I was like fucking I got mental. Like I had a lot of issues against the government. Like if I'm not gonna do anything and get convicted and do time for not doing anything, fuck it, I'm gonna fucking spit on a cop if I see him on the street. And that's what happened. I had an aggression towards police, which led me to go to jail 17 times after that.
Yeah.
um,
No,
Yeah.
I
Do you still
understand.
have that aggression towards them, or did it
No,
change?
now I'm understanding like how to like control my emotions and like I understand like everything happens for a reason, and I'm starting to see why God put me in this place and that time, which is helping me in work, you know?
yeah,
All
Sadecc,
right.
before we move forward, I just want to say you're fine with us disclosing and talking about all this information, your story. I know
Of
it's a
course.
sensitive story. I was reading it and I felt really like hurt on the inside, to be honest. So I can't imagine what you went through.
So I didn't deal with my emotions yet. So like if I talk about it, it's like a fucking character. It's not me.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have here author of Among Wolves, Behind the System, rapper Sadecc Choucaire. Welcome on the podcast,
Thank you.
man.
Thank you for having me.
What interesting story you went through. You went into the most dangerous, most corrupt prison in Lebanon, if not the whole Middle East, prison Roumieh. You met up with ISIS and many, many more wolves. Oh my God. I have some questions for you. I just want to start off, if you don't mind. What police procedures are used during arrests, and how do these procedures lead people to feel confused, fearful, and dehumanized? So when they're arresting you, what do they do that makes you feel less than human?
Uh, First off, when I got caught, I was 19 years old. The system was different when the story happened to me. After that, in my book, you see how my story helped change the system, and what happened rarely occurs anymore. So before that, in Lebanon, if you go to the police station and if you have a beef with somebody and you tell them this guy sold me drugs, they would put you in jail for a year and a half minimum till you go to court and be like, where's the proof? Like, there's nothing on the
Mm,
phone. Uh, my friend, like, he got hit to say my name because I had a nickname back then since I was 12 years old called Sako, and they saw that on his phone. And he told them he's an EUB student. And they were like, oh my God, we found the EUB student, the kingpin. And my friend was like, no, no, we just smoke. They slapped him and he's like, yeah, that's the dealer. My friend like said that. They got me. They got me at 2 a.m. I was at a pub. And so my friend calls me. He's like, where you at? And I'm like, yo, come, let's have a drink. Nothing suspicious at all. Just come have a drink. He came. So I was drunk, and like the bartender was like, "Yo, there's people looking for you outside," and I thought it was like a fight or something, and I was like, "Who wants to suck? Yo, I'm right here." And the detective just takes me and puts me in the car. And I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? And he just slaps my face. He slaps the drunk right out of my face. And I'm like, oh shit, this is real. They take me to Habesh police station. 17 guys, detectives, slapping me around. What's your name? Pa, liar, pa. Like, they were having fun. They're having fun with me. And then, like,
Oof.
they hit me with my belt, with sticks. They're like, you're a dealer. And I'm like, no, what the fuck? Like, imagine, I've never sold in my life. Hayat Allah. Never sold anything in my life. I was 19, AV student. They kept hitting me, telling me, you're a dealer, you're a dealer, you're a dealer. I'm like, no, no, no. So just based on my friend, on because my name on his phone, and so on. Uh, Eventually, like they put me in the cell. I stay a month in Besh, and then they transfer me to Roumieh because I'm accused of dealing. At the time, there was also a fault in with my parents, and you know the wasta. You heard of the wasta in Lebanon. During the
Right.
wasta, yeah, my dad is well connected, and
Yeah.
his friends were like, "Yo, we'll take care of it. He'll go out the next day. Don't worry about it. No need for a lawyer. We got it." So, but like my situation was smoking a joint, hashish. So, so when I go to the judge after the Habesh, no one was there, and even it was sketchy with the judge. It's like they made it on purpose, so I get convicted for dealing. So then they'd go back to my dad and ask for 50K, because like smoking, 15 days, 1,000 maybe. But when it's dealing, it's 50K. So there's two problems that led to this situation. And both are related to the government and the institution in Lebanon, how it's based on corruption
Mm-hmm.
and shit eating. Yeah.
Yeah. Your friends is like, I don't know. Your story is very unique in the sense where you got convicted by the government, and the government, like, the government before and after isn't that great yet. It's very old, the old system. I'm not defending the government. Fuck the government, but I don't know, man. You're you have
Yeah.
many in your story, and then your friend was one of them. The government is a big part of it, and the institution is another part.
And the
So
judge,
you have to,
let me
and right.
continue what happened with the judge. The judge, I go inside without a lawyer. My friend denies me. My friend who said my name in front of the judge goes like, they hit me in Hbesh and they wanted him. I don't know why. They wanted me to say his name. This is what he said in front of the judge, Fadi Anaisi. This is enemy number two. Fadi Anaisi goes like, didn't you say that he sold you drugs? He was like, they hit me. I don't speak Arabic, and he's a Frenchie. He's from France, and he was talking French with the judge. And he's like, they hit me. I don't know, and I was scared, so I said his name. It was the funny thing. The most painful thing of the story is that was one day before New Year's Eve. Either I go out on smoking charges, or I stay and get convicted for dealing. And the judge goes like, you both are liars. Get out of my office. He denied me, and I said, "Makhasne, I didn't do it." And he just sent me there to Roumieh like nothing. I'm sure that he was in on it. He wanted me to go there. So my dad goes under pressure and pay up. They asked my dad, we want
Did he pay up?
50K. Oh, they
Did he
asked him
pay
for
up?
50K. I'm like, Dad, for me, I was 19. Like, I can't imagine it now, but like, I was like all of you guys, all the watchers, like seeing Roumieh, like, what the fuck? Like, prison shit, like this place. You know, like I'm an only child for my parents, and it was so hard on him and me. I wanted to prove that I was innocent. Like my family thought I was stealing, and I'm like, Dad, don't pay. Like now after Habesh, I'm in Roumieh. I'm okay. Send me half of the money. Send me 10K. Let me buy a room. You can buy a room. Let me buy phones. I bought 3 phones. I rented two for $50 a week, $200 per month. And I was chill. And what I wanted, I'm like telling them when I go to the judge, because my judge was Elena Skandar, which is now promoted head judge. This judge is so great. And they all say in prison, like, she knows, like, you speak, she knows if you lie and if you don't, and if you're innocent, she will let you out. But the problem in Lebanon, the judicial system takes time to go on, and like I had to wait. If a person doesn't come, it gets postponed 3 months. There's a judicial vacation 6 months. So after a year and a half, when I got the chance to speak on court, and the fucking detectives that tortured me in Habesh swore on the Quran that he didn't hurt me or hit me. And thank God I still had a cigar burn. He burned me with a cigar on my leg, and I showed her. I'm like, Judge, Your Honor, he burned me. He's a fuck. I went crazy. I'm like, he's lying. He's am yahluf lying. Like, what is this? I showed her the burn, which still had a mark after a year. I'm like, he burned me. He tortured me. He's a fucking liar. And she knows. She shook her head. Even the other prisoners, like waiting their cases, they were like, Your Honor, we all know Habesh, they do this. This guy's a liar. Everybody, like, they know that the Lebanese system knows. And after I spoke, I was out of jail. She got me out. Thank God. And they changed the system in Habesh. All the detectives got fired. You can't put anybody in jail for just talking. You need proof. They didn't have proof against me. Nothing at all. At all. So yeah,
Wow.
that's
I mean, I can't believe why would someone go out of their way to torture? I mean, that's the one of the most horrific things. And you're innocent, and you're 19. You're a college student. You know, it's like
yeah,
these people aren't
yeah,
they parents? Don't they have kids? And can they relate to what
exactly.
it's like to be a kid? And you can't
Why
just go
why
around
don't they
torturing people.
why
Yeah,
did they go catch the guys, the big dealers? They're selling
right.
tons.
Those guys are allowed to sell, but if anyone's trying to consume, that's
Because
where
they
they're trying to
buy
get you. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Bish is
Oof.
a fucking bureaucracy. It's a bureau to extortion,
That's
to
it.
get money from
Yeah.
university students. It is known.
Yeah. No, very
Oof.
true. They revoked your name from all the problems that you've had to face.
Hmm?
Did you get
Can you
your
repeat?
name revoked? As in, like, you never went to jail. You never. You can get a license. Because then, if you went to jail, you don't go to. You get a license.
Oh, it's not a license. It's called
مثل عفو.
Rasid. So now because I did the like 9 months in jail is like a year. So I did a year and a half, and I went out innocent in the end. So now they give me, okay, we are sorry, you have 2 years, you can have credit. So if I do another crime, I have a get out of jail free card, like the Monopoly. Yeah, it's fucked up. So,
No.
so
What is
yes,
this?
what a god. So they're pushing me to actually do something, you know?
Yeah, they're pushing you to do something. They're like, please, you have 2 years.
Yeah,
It's like the purge, man. You can
yeah,
get
yeah.
away with
Do
anything.
something. Do
Yeah,
that. We are
exactly.
sorry for what happened. We are sorry
Oof.
for what happened.
Um,
Yeah.
Sade, I want to ask you a bit more about the prison guards that you dealt with. What kinds of prison guards were there? Were they all violent? And if you were in their spot, would you have acted any different?
Which guards? The in Hbesh, because I did 30 days in Hbesh and a year and a half in Roumieh prison.
Mm-hmm.
So in Roumieh there was no guards.
Go for it.
It was controlled by
I see.
ISIS. ISIS had a
Ooh.
third floor. Yes, sea view. No guards came in the building. They have their kingdom. and they controlled the prison.
Bro, what the hell? What the
Yeah,
hell?
yeah.
Sure.
They put university students there because it's more safe than other blocks. Because there, like, you can't steal, you can't do fights, there's no drugs. You know, you get punished. If you curse God, Tokfor, they cut off your tongue. Yeah, it's strict. And the
By the way,
government
I read
supporting them.
in your book that you mentioned that you got stabbed. Was that in
Yeah,
Block B?
yeah.
Could you tell us more about that story?
It's right here. Still. Proud scars, battle scars. Yeah, I was playing soccer and a fight happened while defending in the field in prison, yeah, in Block B. And this nigga fucking knifed me. Yeah. Cause like I swore at his mom. I'm like, "Kitlemmak," while playing soccer, you know? And, and like and like I forgot where I was. I I was enjoying the game. I was enjoying the game, the soccer, you know. I
No.
said Kitlemmak, the way he looked at me, I just like, oh my, where the fuck am I? I'm in prison. I just swore at this guy's mom. I'm gonna die. But yeah, he got kicked out of the
So I guess
building. So after the fight.
After the
I guess
fight
that's one
gone.
person you won't be playing darts with.
Yeah.
And what's your highest score in darts? Since you say you're the
Uh,
king of darts.
darts? No. I never said darts. I said soccer, football.
No, I'm saying you. What's it called? You also like to play darts with your friends, didn't you? You
Oh,
wrote it in your
pool
book.
and darts. Yeah, it was pool and darts. Yeah, that was like 10 years ago. That's actually the last time I played darts. In the first chapter, yeah, I was playing darts. I never played again. I never played again. It was
Oof.
in Captain's Cabin on Hamra. Shout out to Anthony,
Oh,
the
you got a dance
bartender. He's
too?
still there.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's where
Bro,
I
I
got
Buffalo.
caught. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Was there about
You see
400.
how on the wall there's all pictures of people? Yeah, surely there's my picture, you know? Like outside going like, who wants the sackle?
Ah, man. I want to ask you, Sadecc, what's it? You think you could have lasted longer in prison? Like, were you getting used to it? Did you start to maybe like it a little bit if you were there for longer? What would that have done to you?
The first year and 2 months were okay because I had my phone and I watched all movies. I was playing like a World of Warcraft game on my phone, and show was cool. But on January 15, 2014, for anonymous reasons, I'll tell you the details inside the prisons after the story about what happened. I was on my phone at 5 a.m. Okay, I was watching porn. I'm not gonna lie. So, yeah. There's nothing to do. Come on, like I had a phone. I had
I understand.
PlayStation. Like they had my dick imprisoned only. حابسين عيري, like we say it in Lebanon. Other than this, بس حابسين عيري. So
The
so
translations.
so so at 5 a.m. I hear in the block, Allahu Akbar. I look outside the fucking window. I took a picture and I still have the picture to this day on my PC. It's in the book. I see all the SWAT cars outside, SWAT cars, and what the fuck do they want? And it was a riot, you know. So like the person who's more
Yeah.
experienced with me in the room told me it's gonna be like a routine checkup. So so we started hiding the phones. I hid my phone in the fucking meats inside the meat and the fridge. I thought it was a routine checkup. So after they go to the first floor, the door under was open. The SWAT goes up to the first floor, take everybody out, put them in vans. Keep in mind, Third floor is ISIS. And I had the interactions with them, and we asked like, if this happens, what would you do? He said, we'll give Rivotril drugs to all the prisoners, and we started the biggest riot. They did not do nothing. Second floor, where I was, with my room was, the building was smoke, like a movie, like, you see the flashlights outside. I peeked. It's all smoke. You put your hand in front of your face, you don't see it, because the mattresses were burning. Everybody was burning mattresses, the first and the second floor. Outside, there's the fire department spraying water inside the cells. The floor was wet. So, okay, they got us out. They came to our room. They were like, "You're a terrorist." I was like, "No, no, no, drugs, drugs, drugs." I was saying it with so proud, drugs. And then, yeah, yeah, yeah. So they cuffed my hands back with a plastic, okay, with a plastic behind my back, and the plastic, the zip tie.
The
Okay,
Ziploc thing.
yeah, the Ziploc. It's like white, yeah. So, and I was wearing flip flop and socks. So, and the floor was all water. They got us down the stairs, and there's all riot geared people like on the stairs, like hitting us while we went down. So I slipped. I slipped. The zip tie broke. I fell on my back. I don't know if you can see my finger. There's a slice here. You see it's cut from here. My finger split in half. It opened in half because of the zip tie. When I fell, slashed it. They were taking us to another building. Oh, we were in our boxers. They stripped search us in our boxers. They put us kneeling on the floor. So we take us to another building. Why? We don't know why they took us. It never happened in the history of prison. So me, I have a problem with my knee. I can't kneel. So I was sitting cross-legged. Behind me, a puddle of blood from my finger. And then one of the riot police goes like, "عاد منيح انه sit well." And I go like, "I can't look at my finger, look at my finger." He's like, "Oh, let me see." And he hit me on it with the pistol.
Ooh.
When I went to jail, like I had mental disassociation. Like I told you, I was like you and the Watchers, how I portrayed Roumieh. Here, like I had to create a lie, a fucking gangster persona inside to understand what was going on at least. So everything went away that moment, and I fucking shattered. I shattered. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I'm an AUB student. I'm 19. What is this? What's going on? I'm not a terrorist. Why are you doing this? I lost it. I lost it. They put us in a new cell. Another riot guy, he was more heartfelt and came to me and he was like, "Okay, I'm going to get you medical assistance." They put us, the story is on the news when they went on the block. For 3 days, my finger was out from the coldest cell. I was in my boxers asking for help. The only time the police came was to throw us food in a nylon bag like dogs. There's no forks, nothing, nothing, nothing. So that's, to answer your question, that was the hardest part of the whole experience. I could survive everything when I had my phone, but on those conditions, I gave up. I'm like, God, I know this is the test. I can't take it anymore. Khalas. This is blasphemy. So 3 days, my finger was out of the room, the pus forming. 3 days, my mom had no clue about what's going on with me. She just heard on the news that they entered the block. They said on the news because an explosion got triggered from inside. But inside information, scoop. They
Scoop.
released prisoners, ISIS prisoners, in a trade-off for Lebanese army. I don't know if you remember when they had kidnapped armies from Lebanese army, and they were like, we want prisoners from Roumieh, and we'll give them
Yeah,
back.
they
No
took them in
way.
And
buses,
if you
right?
don't give them
They took
back,
them in
we're
buses
gonna
to
invade the
the
prison.
borders.
So
Ooh.
I believe, and the prisoners all believe that was a trade-off, because they put us in obscurity, not terrorists, Shias and Christians, and they left them there and they didn't do anything. Then they didn't join us in the riot. So that's what most think that happened.
Mm-hmm. And that's not reported on the news. So this is a change of history, of the way this story is told, right? Because on the news it seems like it's like a terrorist attack, but in reality it wasn't. It was an inside kind of attack.
Yeah, bro. What do you think about The Matrix?
Yeah, self-explanatory.
Self-explanatory.
So do you know about this side? Do you want to tell them about Sako and AUB?
Yeah. So Sadecc, I used to be in AUB as well, and I used to hear like the term Sako being used for like to get hash. Like, we go,
No way.
خلينا نروح نجيب Sako. Let's go get Sako.
What year was this?
So I graduated 2020. So between 2015 and 2020 كنت اسمها.
Oh, no way. Wow, that's fucking crazy.
It is a bit.
I
It is
never
a
knew.
bit crazy. Not gonna lie. Sadecc, I want to know. You were telling us the story of how there was one kind riot guy who sent you to the get medical attention for your finger, right? What makes
he
him
didn't. Yeah.
What makes him different than the
What?
other ones? Because the other ones were brutalizing you versus this guy had some empathy and
Do you know
wanted to
the
help.
Stockholm syndrome? The Stockholm syndrome. Every police officer in Lebanon suffers from that. The experiment where they put students, they tell them, you become cops, and the other
The
students.
Stanford prison experiment. Stanford prison
Exactly. Yeah, that's the one.
experiment.
Yeah,
Abuse of power.
this is why I had
Mhm.
issues with the police after that, because I saw the police on the street. When they wear this uniform, they have this syndrome. They have
Ooh.
they have this power, this authority that they can't do it anywhere else. They feel empowered when they're in this uniform.
Are you trying to refer to the point that maybe the what's it called? The police force in Lebanon are not up to standard in their education, maybe?
It's not this. Everybody, when you give him power,
Yeah.
he might tend to be a tyrant. As much
Mhm.
as he claims to be good-hearted, when you have power beyond abnormal power, power above everybody else, you tend to be a tyrant. And if you're not a tyrant, the Matrix will
Yeah.
make you a tyrant.
But let's make it let's compare them to, for example, Navy SEALs. Navy SEAls
Okay.
are much more disciplined and well trained,
alright,
and they are much stronger than the police
Saeed,
force.
Saeed.
Wait, let me finish this point. Let me finish this point. Let me finish this point.
No,
Paco,
I
hold
believe
your
there is
point. Hold your
some
point.
type of
Don't interrupt me.
education there.
Paco, don't interrupt me! I said you wait now! You wait! You wait!
Compare
Who's
the
gonna
Lebanese
carry the
You
boat,
wait!
man?
You wait! Carry the boats,
Tyranny.
man! Carry the boats! Just carry the boats. Someone's got to carry the boats.
Who's
Alright.
gonna carry the boat,
No,
man?
let me say, Navy
No.
SEALs are much
Hey,
stronger than the police
no,
force,
no.
but because they are disciplined,
بعد
they do not
الخيانة.
harm innocents, right? So
Yeah,
maybe the
because they
police
learn.
force,
You're right. Education plays a big part. I'm
yeah,
sure they know about the Stockholm or what Stanford experiment. They know
Mhm.
yeah,
the power. With great power comes great responsibility.
exactly.
Hashtag
Spider-Man
Spider-Man.
Chapter 1.
Sadiq, I'm gonna tell you this. Saeed, listen very carefully.
I'm
'cause,
listening.
You cannot compare Lebanese
True.
police cops to the military. You can compare the Lebanese force, the or the cops, compared to the military in Lebanon. That's the only way. That would only make sense. Because that doesn't make sense. How does that make sense? Like, it really doesn't. Because Navy SEALs are literally designed to be on strict rules.
Exactly. That's the
same
point.
thing with the cops. Same thing with the cop. But here we have a problem. We have corruption.
Yeah.
We have a problem. It's not
I think the police force would be way better.
I don't think it has to do with training more than education, which was a valid point. Education is very important. Psychological training, the power thing.
So no offense, but here the problem is in Lebanon. The problem is in Lebanon is that nobody's held accountable for their actions.
That is true.
Therefore, the judicial system, like Sadecc,
I'm waiting for the government in Lebanon where I can sue the government for what happened to me. Not only did I lose my education, I was studying mechanical engineering. Not only did my father's health condition deteriorate and led to his death after my release, thank God. After a month, I got to see him. And then he passed away because what happened to me. It's not easy for a strong man, my dad was strong, to be used by his friends, his political affiliations. They used his son as a pawn to extort him. It wasn't easy for a man his age. And other than my year and a half of mental, psychological issues, the pain, the suffering, the mental problems